Welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. If you're excited, then you're not the only one. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and stay tuned for what we have in store for you guys. You read the thumbnail, you're here. Who's getting attacked by a monkey? How many times are they going to get their head ripped off? Who is it? Why is the monkey doing it? Well, one word, Primate. This is the new movie that's been released not too long ago. It's not to be mistaken with Send Help, which was a Sam Raimi film, but I can only imagine if Sam Raimi got his hands on this, like Bill Cosby got his hands on a lot of women at bars, that it would have turned out much better. But the word is primate. Primate. Now, primate means a lot of things, but of course, in this one, there's a stupid monkey. In the beginning, they might as well replace him with a chihuahua because he doesn't really matter. He's non-threatening. But out of nowhere, somehow this mongoose gives him rabies, and everybody knows what rabies does. But it was really confusing because the monkey that was really there's a scene where this isn't your typical slasher film, because there really isn't a slasher, but it's more of, I don't even know what type of film I would call it, because you don't really think of killers as like horror. You don't really think of these chimpanzees as like these killers, and he sure as hell isn't going to be making it into like the icon list of horror icons, And I think watching this movie, this chimp is really crazy. Anybody who owns a chimp is also crazy. But the whole thing was just really awkward, because you're watching this, and it starts off with like 4 or 3 girls who all look alike. You can't tell them apart. You can't tell them apart when there's a scene in the water, which takes a lot of time. And unfortunately, when they're in the water, they all look the same. And oftentimes, you don't even know who it is that is running or who's even dead. You don't even know what the difference between all 3 of them is, because that's how similar they look. So it's really funny. But they're all there, and they're all like really, they do like a quasi like horniness. Like it's not fully there, but they try to make it seem like it is. Maybe because they wanted, it's not a PG-13 film, but they never showed anything happening between anyone. It almost did. But it's so funny because it's almost like the monkey didn't even care. This monkey's kind of an asshole. And I think he also needs to be in Planet of the Apes. And he might actually be like a contender for Caesar or something. But one of the first kills, there's a few first kills, but the one that was the most interesting among the first ones was when there's a douche boy who likes to hit on every girl. And he thinks he can go ahead and show up and save the day. And what happens? He pushes the monkey off the ledge. But what he doesn't know, or I don't know why you wouldn't know, but monkeys are very good at holding on to things. And you just got to watch any documentary on chimps, and you'll know that. And unfortunately, the chimp makes like a surprise appearance, like out of Jack in the Box kind of, and grabs him and throws him straight down into it was like 100 feet down. And he wanted to really show like, hey, you girls who thought he was hot, well, guess what? His head's now down there bashed in. But that's not the only one who dies. There's like so many more deaths in this. And, it makes you wonder, would you ever really own a chimp? Because I know I wouldn't. And then another one of the things that was funny was how, they try running away from this chimp, but really you shouldn't, because there's a part where this girl is practically down on her back on the stairs, and the chimp is above her, and gets this rock, and he bashes it in. Now, he does it so easily, and you have a feeling that they're all gonna die. But of course, there's a few final survivors, and there's even one girl who, unfortunately, if you're watching this, you shouldn't take your kid, but I don't think you will. But there's a woman who gets killed in a car. He beats her to a pulp, and she's just there. She's just like dead meat. And unfortunately, this is a monkey that towards the end, he's got to be like, this is just any horror movie really, but with a chimp. And the other thing is that he acts like Michael Myers, because he gets back from the dead, he gets stabbed all these times, and then he comes back from the dead for one final round. And it's like I don't know what type of movie, if it's a thriller or if it's a slasher, because it's paying homage to the double tap rule where you always gotta kill, you gotta shoot for the head or something. And it was like, another stupid way of building suspense. But if anybody ever goes to get attacked by a chimp, it's gonna be because they walked into that. Because nobody should ever own a chimp. If you don't go looking for chimps at exotic places, don't act like the Tiger King. Don't try to sell exotic animals because you're only gonna get into worse shit.